While we were there in Bielsa, something was happening in Makodi. I'd like you to place it on the screen. DIGC Makodi Central, James Idu, from what the pastor told me, because we asked for verification of this, he's a member of the counseling department there. He said, raised back to life by the prophetic mantle. I want to thank God for bringing me back to life after being dead for more than 4 hours. I engaged in a 4 days dry fast that lasted till Tuesday, 25th January 2022. My intention was to break after the evening service. But at a point I became so weak that I had to just go home. On reaching home, because of the weakness I was experiencing all over my body, I eagerly got cold water. Bad mistake. To quench my thirst before thinking of what to use to break the long fast. And that was the last thing I remember. I passed out and my spirit left my body. In no time, I saw myself in a very strange place. I saw familiar faces in church beckoning on me to return, but I kept going. I saw 3 gates. I went past the first and to the second. And then approaching the 3rd gate, where I saw a man dressed in white, giving me a white robe, before granting me access into the 3rd gate. And at that instance, I saw the senior pastor, Dr. Paul Enenche. He appeared with a microphone in his hand and said, I was preaching in Bielsa, but I had to pause and come to your aid. Before returning to continue. He then asked me to return back, and immediately I was back in my body. He didn't just see the pastor, he saw him with the microphone from where he was ministering. That's Makodi people watching there. Now, continue. At this point, my dad in the village, all right, now, he then asked me to return back, and immediately I was back in my body. I saw many people in my house wailing, and I began to ask to know what happened. At this point, my dad in the village had already called to make arrangement for me to be moved to the mortuary. And an ambulance to take my body was already in the compound. But I'm here today to tell everyone that it pays to be under a prophetic cover. Are you just sitting? I would have been dead for good if not for the mercy of God. That's him lying down there. Before returning, the head HOD counseling. You said you spoke with him, and he was there in the house after he had passed.
A lot of persons in the counseling department were there in the house, and they confirmed that he died. People were crying.
They took the picture of him lying down.
His brother, his 4 hours. His brother, they also called his brother who was in the house that day that he died, and he confirmed that he died.
You don't know what is my major concern now. Arrival with microphone. That's my major concern now. That I am from Bielsa, preaching in Bielsa, and I had to pause to come to his aid, still holding the microphone. And I did not leave Bielsa while I was preaching. I mean, physically, I was still there. Spiritual translocation that happens with the speed of light. I don't know about you, but I'm going to serve this God permanently. Permanently. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. It has not entered the heart of man what God is said to do. But God has revealed them to us by his Spirit. The Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things. Lift up your hands right now and let us begin to appreciate this God as I make further prophetic declarations for your life and for your destiny tonight. Like padayate sepero da gagadayada. Ilete perete kezigo